it covered keep covered after we use it, after we clean it, because keep the dust and dirt off. Of course. We take the garbage bag off. The meat slicer is always unplugging, so for safety reasons, so in case somebody accidentally hits it, it won't come on. So we plug up the meat slicer.
Plug in. So why is the dial tone at 0?
The dial is at 0 so that you do not accidentally cut yourself on the blade. This is the sharpener that sharpens the blade, which is right here. This is the knob that holds the guard over the blade, right here. This is the meat holder. I don't know the correct name for it. So this is also a guard to when you cut the meat, so your hands don't get in the way. You can just like push it down.
So do we keep it at that angle when we first start?
Keep it at this angle when we first start.
Cool.
This is the hand guard, so you keep your hand away from the meat. So you can actually have it like this as you're slicing the meat back and forth.
Okay. So how would we slice the meat back and forth? Would we put our hands here?
No, we don't put our hands here. We keep our hands right here.
Right there. Okay. All right. So should I get the meat? And
Yes, we're going to set the dial to slice chicken on 2.
Okay.
Because that gives us 2 ounces exactly. An ounce exactly for the meat. Place the meat onto the meat slicer. Go ahead. Take the guard, set it here. It's on 2. Power button here. Turn it on. I set the container underneath the slicer so that way I don't have to touch the meat as much for cross contamination. Ooh, I like it. Just slide it back and forth.
Now, how would we want to check the size of the meat to make sure it's right?
The size of the meat is always going to be right because this does not move.
That does not move?
That does not move. So once the meat is sliced, you're going to turn it off. I cover the meat. I remove. I take the guard off the meat. Set it right here because this is safety right here, so that it's not swinging and won't get cut because these things are very sharp.
Yes.
And they do hurt. Now we're going to clean the slicer. We put the slicer back to 0, the blade back to 0. Right here is off. We unplug it, which the plug is right here. You want to see that? See me unplugging it.
Pull from the top of it. Sure. Don't pull from the
We
core.
disconnect the hand guard. That's what I call it. The hand guard from this knob here.
And we whistle while we work.
We lift it. Take it over to the sink. Okay, so to clean the blade, take off the sharpener as well. To clean the blade, which is, this came in handy. This was a mistake, but we're glad we got this now. I really am. You clean off all the excess debris from the meat. You do not touch the blade whatsoever.
What are you using to clean it, you know?
Just plain soap and water.
Okay.
And there's a guard over here to protect your hands from the blade as well. I think there's a guard. To clean the blade itself with this, I just use soap and water, take this brush, and I just go all around it with the brush.
So it gets in all the cracks
Gets
and
all the-
crevices and...
It's all of this. Because before you used to have to take a rag to go around, and that's very dangerous to do. But with this brush, it stays on the fingers.
Yay!
And because meat does get down here, I use the brush to get all the excess meat out as well.
because the meat is on the back of the blade, I use this as well to get the meat off the blade.
I'm going to wipe it down. Do they have gloves for this?
Special gloves?
Make sure everything on the meat slicer is clean, front and back, on the table. Since it's so close to the wall, we have to clean the wall as well.
And
Sanitize.
And under the machine, correct?
And under the machine.
So, that is it. This is not going to be a quick job. It takes thorough looking, cleaning,
15 minutes clean.
re-rinsing again and again.
To put the meat slicer back together, put the blade guard on first. The blade guard is set up that you have a notch right here, so it's completely lined up. Screw on. Hand guard goes right here.
So you're going to hold it by its handle. So you're going
Slides
to do
back
it
in.
till it clicks, correct?
It doesn't click, it just goes in. Screw back in. Got my nails all on. Put the sharpener back on. And cover it up. Keep just in your grill. And slide the cord